everyone, so today I'm going to make a new batch of bayberry soap. I'm switching up the design for this particular batch. And I'm going to strain out my lye solution. I mixed this up several days ago and I want to make sure that I didn't get all this extra crusties in there. You can see all of it in there, I think. Can you see in there? Anyway, a lot of times those just blend right in when the batch is freshly made. But it has a tendency to get hard like that, so when it's been sitting, so I don't want that in there. Okay, now I'm going to put in my coconut milk. I've blended a little bit of water in with the coconut milk. It's organic coconut milk because I wanted to have a little bit of extra water in this particular batch. The bayberry likes to move just a little bit. And it does try to discolor to yellow a little bit, so I'm trying to work with that with my colors. This is going to be an autumn type batch of bayberry. And now I'm going to put in the fragrance oil. This one you have to really hold back on. I think 3% is its usage, right? But it's a very strong fragrance, so it's fine. Okay, I'm hoping I get to do what I want to do with this batch today. I need to kind of move quickly and at least get it in the mold. Did not get out another spatula. Pour out a little bit for red. And some for orange. And the rest here is just going to be a yellow. Mixed in some yellow and some gold yellow. I thought about doing some neon yellow and then I realized, you know what, I don't really want it that bright for a fall soap. This is lovely so far. This one I have some electric orange and gold mixed together. I do want this one to be a little bit bright because orange tends to be quite bright in nature when it's, I'm thinking of maple trees especially, but the mountain ash, which is what I'm kind of going after here design wise, also gets quite bright. This one I'm just going to use a red pigment. I tend to use really red from Nurture. tapping out my air bubbles. Still there, aren't they? That's quite pale still, so I'm going to add in a bit more. This is just my accent color. I probably should have had some red Vibrance or really red from, not red, really red again, but red Vibrance or Merlot. I don't really want this to be pink. I don't want it to be so bright that it discolors the surrounding soap, which it does tend to bleed sometimes. I'm afraid that's just going to go a little bit to the pink side because it's still kind of pale. The problem is these small containers and then stick blending gets too thick. I'm just going to have to forfeit that soap there. So I'm going to go ahead and pour in some yellow. Be my base color. Quite a lot of orange though too. I'm going to try to work in the loaves, but I kind of can't see at this angle. Whoops. This red is getting quite thick from the stick blending. Hopefully this isn't just like ketchup and mustard, which, didn't think about that until just this minute. I'll save a little bit of that. Probably should have put some green in here. It probably would have helped my process a little bit. Put the rest of the orange in next, which is not a whole lot. Save just smidgen for the top, I think. So take my little hanger swirl doodaddy thing, and I'm just gonna kind of swirl. It's gonna take a lot to make a mess of this soap because it's so thick. So I'm kind of getting a little wild. I'll probably clean that off too in just a minute because I want to use it. Just gonna drizzle out the rest of this orange. I'm not really going to clean off these edges because I want my lines still. I'm just going to smooth it out a bit. I'm not quite done with this soap. I have some toppers I'm going to put on it. Just giving it a little bit of texture is all. I'm going to go ahead and put on some of my gold eco glitter. I don't have my little spray arm on this one. It fell off and I haven't been able to get back on in the same manner. Okay, so I started adding in some of these little orange soap balls that I made, and my whole idea here is that they're gonna kind of look like kind of like a mountain ash tree in their orange berries. Obviously they have more clusters in the whole scheme of things, but I just got a little too far. I debated all the different ways to do it, and I decided this is how I wanted to do it this time. So I have my lines marked. I'm using some crafting tweezers to help me out. I think I will work with these soap balls so they look a little bit more like a, I doesn't want to hold on to the dude. Come on now. Alright, here we go. So they look a bit more like the berries. They have kind of like a brown crisscross on them. They're just the prettiest things. I just miss those so much. We don't have those here that I've seen. I've only seen them in Montana. I'm sure there are many other places, but that's where I'm familiar with the berries and the mountain ash tree. We lived in town, in a small town in Montana, and there was always, we didn't have any, but there was one right at the corner next to the Methodist church, and it was just the prettiest tree. When we were up there, of course, all they had was their majorly stinky blooms, because we were up there in beginning, well, I guess it was the end of May, beginning of June. You know, I never line anything up right. I see I'm veering a little bit, so I'm going to try to line these up. Oh, see them right on the edge. I gotta come more towards the inside. I'm not very good at this part of it. I never have been good at lining it up. It'd be easier if it was just a singular mold. I'm just going to move these guys over a little bit. Ruins the design on that one just a bit, but alright, let's come in a little bit. So anyway, this is just gonna take me a little while to get accomplished. I will try to attach some pictures of some sort so you guys can see what I'm talking about, though many of you do, I'm sure. And I'm just gonna keep going here. So it turns out I had plenty of these soap balls, so I am going to add more on until they're gone. The Mountain Ash, they're a little bit more in clusters instead of just, you know, the 3 berries, which we see more with, I don't know, like holly and just Christmassy type berry arrangements that we do. So I thought it'd be fun to go ahead and add them as long as I had them made and all was going well. Some of them have even more than 5. If it kind of squished up, I went ahead and add them in. Like this one is kind of one right there. I don't know if you can see that. So then I'll just take a little one and pop it in. I just love how it turned out. It is so cute. Oh my goodness. That is just too cute. I still have more. I don't know how many more I really want to put around. If it's not squished up like that one, then it tries to reorganize it a bit. So I think I'm just going to go with that. And now I can clean up my mess now that I don't need my lines anymore. So I think I'm not going to add any more glitter right now because of, I think I'm going to dust it with a little bit of like gold mica a little bit later. So instead of a sprinkling, it'll be more dusted. So we'll see how that goes. Alright guys, I'll be back for the cut. Alright, so it's time to split and cut this bayberry soap. And oh dear, I probably should have paid. Okay, I'm getting caught up on my cutter. I knew that. Anyway, I should have paid attention to the lines I made on the top and just went down those lines instead. Well, that's pretty. Be interesting to see what the inside looks like. Smells so good. Love this bayberry scent. Alright, so I'm going to put it on my 2.5. Well, it looks like I need to bring it over just a hair to go down similar to the line I made. So it looks like some of these will be leaned to the side, the berries. They won't be just right down the middle, kind of like I'd planned, based on the fact that I'm splitting it. Just a little different spot, but what else is new? That one went pretty close to right on. Those edges where I had made the lines as a guide for myself will mostly be planed away, beveled away. So there we have the split. Oh wow, look at this oval. How cool is that? Goodness. Alright, I'll be back for the cutting part. Alright, so I have cut a bar off so that I can make sure that this guide was correct. My first cut I was a little bit off, so I've had to adjust just a little. Now this loaf looks like to be one of the first where I went ahead and was making the little crisscross designs. I'm going to try to get in here for you. Anyway, I was making the crisscross designs on the top of the little berries to be a little bit more like the Mountain Ash. It's a little ketchup and mustardy looking, but I think we can imagine fall, can't we, with that one? I love how the multiple berries are on the top. Now I did brush them with a little bit of shimmer gold mica, so they weren't just plain. So I think it turned out alright. It's a little different, but it's definitely very yellowy and orange. My mom loves orange, so I think she's gonna love this soap especially. It is very fall-like in its colors. Looks like I've placed my berries mostly alright. Let's see, this one, it's a little weird, not too bad. Hopefully still fit in the box, otherwise I might have to shrink wrap them. This one, I think I'm just going to leave it as is. Alright, so there you have it. We have the new Bayberry soap for the fall with the cute little berries on top. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later.